Hey, this reading is going to be about choices again, and we're going to look at the energy of two choices. And I have been channeling for a while now two masculine energies coming towards you, and so this may look differently for each of you and how that manifests in your life. So we're going to use the Mystic Molly cards because I just found them at my door today because usually I receive a notification from Amazon, so they were at my door today, which was fantastic. So we're going to take a look at the energies of the energy from the past with these cards, and then we're going to take a look at the energy option coming in as the new option for you. Now, despite if you're in a current relationship or not, this would be someone from the past that you haven't been in a communication with for at least a year, and then the person from the possible option coming in would be someone that you are just meeting now in this lifetime. So, hopefully that helps. And the energies right now are kind of surrounding the energies of the full moon as well. So know that those are going to be very intense, and that as that moon draws nearer and nearer, you will sense these energies around you more and more, and you may feel kind of a pull on your energy from one or the other at times, because these are really big choices and really big things coming forward in your energetic field right now. So as we take a look at choice number one, they want me to do the channeling more first. They want you to know that choice number one has been going down this path for a long number of years, even before they met you. And this partner has a lot of things that he's been carrying around with him for this life and others that were things that he owed back to other people. And because of the work that you've been doing and your connections to this person, you were forced to clear some of their energies as well because of how entwined they were. The other word would be entangled, that they were with you as well. And so the entanglement with this person is really what we're looking at in these cards. So know that as we pull the cards out, it's not that all of this happened they're saying the word in the yard today, but know that there must be a card that shows that it did happen, even if it didn't happen with you, that these energies are things that happened with them in the past, in this life, that they have been dragging on with them, and that became entangled in your relationship with them when you met them, because it was a little bit later in your life as well. It wasn't like they were your grade school or high school sweetheart or something like that. So now I can read the cards they're saying. And so the first card that we have is Stinkin' Thinkin'. So maybe I let my thoughts get the best of me sometimes. And what this card is saying is that you may be overthinking the relationship at this point a little bit too much. And what that means is that you let them go for a reason, and you let them go because of their stinking thinking, because of how they were thinking about you and your relationship, and how they thought that some things were just okay that you didn't really agree with. So we're going to lay that down now. Okay. If you haven't followed my channel closely, all of my words are channeled. That's a gift that I've developed over the course of the last 3 years, to the point that when I'm doing a tarot reading, every word that I speak is a channeled message. So then we have scheming. Looks like I have a date tonight. Good thing you're working. And so the reason that they wanted me to do that channeled message is to let you know that some of these things were things that happened with you, and some of these things were things that happened with others in their life. And basically, it's the energy of that they've been carrying around with them all over their life, and how it is that that is currently manifesting. So the next card then is about how they treated you and how they thought about their relationship with you. And we have Big Daddy, powerful and intimidating, the one in charge. And so this person really felt like they could have control over you, that they could dominate you, and that may have even been a word that you used earlier on in your relationship before you started to feel the energy of their energetic, or I'm getting mindful, abuse towards you, and that they really were trying to not necessarily hurt you in a physical sense, but that they were trying to have control over you and to control the elements of your life that they wanted to control. For example, they wouldn't have wanted you to know about the things that they were doing. So to know about not necessarily the overthinking, but the scheming, that they wouldn't have necessarily wanted you to know about these things. They would have tried to control that about your life. So they're doing these things and then also trying to control what it is that you know and what it is that you don't know. The reality is that you do know now, and that you do understand now, and that they've actually come forward about some of these things now. And so you were able to make an informed decision about your life and your health and your wealth and your abundance and your happiness and all of those things, in order to make better choices in your life. So this card is really about the next chapter of his life. And that is, hold me like this forever. Can we stay in this moment always? And there are actually two males in this picture. We didn't intend it like that, they're saying. So in this case, it's saying he is now in this stage of his life, having already been through the scheming and the overthinking and the trying to control others, that he is now moving into another phase of wanting to recognize who you were in his life and wanting to understand why it is that he acted the way that it was when he knew that you were more loving, more nurturing, more supportive, and a better energetic counterpart than anyone that he had ever encountered. And so the next card is about how he feels about that. And that is kinda witchy. Tarot, spirituality, positive affirmations, crystals, and sage. And he feels like this is what you were doing. So this would be similar to the things that I have been doing, although I would say I have not been performing witchcraft. I have been performing energetic healing on myself all the time. I do energetic body code and my own healing path sessions on myself every day. And a lot of that is about removing spiritual warfare and the things that I found that were happening. The things that you see that are happening in the 3D are also happening in the 5D. So when you see things like murder, death, suicide, they want me to say, energetic homicides, and anything else like that, those are happening in the higher dimensions as well. It is really as above, so below. And so all of my work has been uncovering all of those things and how it is that you can energetically unentangle yourself from the things that others may term spiritual warfare. I call them works of art, works of energetic art, essentially. And so what he's feeling is your ability to untangle the things of the past and to set a brighter future for yourself. And energetically, he can feel that you are not the same feminine that he fell for, that you are a different person and he is a different man because of the things that you have done as well. And they want to say that that picture is significant. The picture of the tarot card saying Daughter of Swords. And that is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords here is about truth. So the Page of Swords is coming forward with a message, and it is usually about how I channel the swords is about truth. And about clearing things and bringing things to light. So you have a new understanding of who this person was, and you also have an understanding about some of why things happened, how they happened, and over time you have been unraveling the rags into riches and really understanding who your true self is and what you can do to come into alignment with who you really want to be and the things that you have always desired in your life, and the ability to channel yourself or read tarot, do energetic healing is something that you can work towards. You can certainly work towards it in one lifetime, many lifetimes as well. Having the intention to understand who you are, what has happened to you, and understanding the past without having the fear and pain and sorrow of that is really what energetic healing is all about. The next card then is about his intentions towards you now. And they want to say that this card is a little bit weird, but it is going to showcase how he feels about you now and just generally how he's feeling in this time of his life. And that is first touch. I feel the sparks all over. And so that's why they gave this one a preamble. So he feels like when he comes into alignment with you, that you light up his soul, that you are the one that turns him on inside and outside, and that he can literally feel your energy transforming him from the inside out and awakening the parts of him that have been dark and that have been hidden for so long. A lot of this relating to things that had happened in the past and spiritual warfare as well. The next card then is about how he wants to move things forward. And this would be your choice, and it is always your choice because of the deep karmic connection, which really means energy that you have built together through the elements of creation over time. He was definitely one that your soul was encouraging you to spend time with, because when you have energies that you've built with another, when you are encountering them and encountering situations with them and triggering one another, that allows the energies to be brought to the surface in order for them to be healed. And, oh my God. And we see the card toilet scrolling. I can poop for 40 minutes too. This is a very unique card. So this card is about letting go of all the shit that he did. And it's really about, he wants you to really let go of all of this, all of the scheming, all of the control energy, just like you have done with the energies within you. He wants you to let go of all of the shit that he's ever done. I love how they're using these cards, Molly. And so I will say that that's a profound way of channeling this card. So thank you very much to my higher self and my true self for aligning me with these energies in the best way that they could. And so how he wants to move things forward is literally you just letting go of everything that he's ever done. And the next card is going to go along with that as well. And that is ask me to stay. Why can't I get the words out? I want you to stay. And so this card is going along with, so you light up my world. I need you to let go of everything that I've ever done to you, because I really just want to be with you. I want to be around you. I want to be with you forever. And I just need you to tell me that it's okay to do that, that it's okay for me to be here, that it's okay for me to be around because you're the only one that I really want to be around because I have sensed all the other people in my life, what they are to me, what they've done to me, and I can sense their energy now is nowhere, anywhere close to what I would want to be around. Whoa. All right. This card then is about how he wants you to see the future together. And I did shuffle the cards. It's just the way that I channel because the cards also are very unique. They want to set a preamble for them and um, how it is that they've set up this reading so that it makes sense. So how he wants you to to see the future is tell me you don't love me. Rip the band-aid off if you don't. Allow me to heal my heart. Stop holding my heart hostage. So, how he feels is he wants you to acknowledge that you still have feelings for him, that you still love him, and that he would be the one that you would want to choose your future with. So keep in mind, this is not about your choice. This is why they said that about this card, is they want you to know that he wants you to see the future as you still love him, you know that, and you want him to stay around. You want to let go of everything. You want to say, please stay here, and I love you even though I don't even want to say it. The next card then is how he's going to react to what it is that you say. And they don't really want to let the cat out of the bag on what it is that you're going to say, but I know that you already know that. If you're following this story, you can see that. And what it means is you have uncovered the things of the past. You have done your work. You have done what you can to put yourself in the best energetic state. And the reality is that you are the Prince of Peace. And so what you are going to say will be kind one way or the other, but it really is your choice how it is that you respond to him. And his reaction is sexy time. Wow. Interesting. Okay. So because of your energy, because of the way that you respond to him with kindness and with willing to hear him out, despite what you know about from the past and the scheming and things like that, that he's going to think that that is opening a door and you are going to allow him a door to intimacy. And boy, oh boy, the next card is how you put the kibosh on that. And the next card is just married. Our new journey starts now. And wow, I love how they preambled that one. And so the energy that you're getting here that you can see is like, yeah, sure, we can do that. Once you show me exactly how committed you are to this relationship. And did you come forward after knowing all of this had happened with a ring? And did you come forward with the intention that you let me know that everything in the past in every way has already been cleaned up with a broom and taken out with the garbage? And that's all they want to say about that. Okay. The next card then is his reaction to your kibosh of, yeah, sure. When we're married. And his reaction is balance, release resistance, embrace the flow. And so he knows now that you are not one to take things lightly that have been done in the past and to just let them go is what they wanted this card to be titled. So you're not going to just let go all of the things that happened over the last 8 years. The reality is that you are going to witness within him his releasing of resistance to everything that you just laid out for him. And they want you to know that the reality is he knew in his heart that that was needed. And he came forward with less than he had originally accounted for that you would need. Meaning, if he comes forward with anything less than a diamond poured out in a glass of wine over your favorite dinner, then he has poured out less than you would have ever expected, given what he has done in the past. So we want to explain more with the next cards how it is that he came forward. So this was just kind of laying out the preamble of what had happened in the past and the person coming forward towards you now from the past. And they want to talk about how it is that he's coming forward now. And that would be with a great deal of gumption. So they want you to know that. Oh, here we go. Coming in fast. Love it. Headed in your direction. So they want you to know that this person is coming in, and they're coming in with a lot of energy towards you. And so you notice it doesn't say planned out and detailed and everything you expected. It just says, I'm headed in your direction now. And so they want you to know that with the energy of these cards, let me look and see how this goes. Okay. With the energy of these cards, that he knows that you expect more from him, given what you know that he has done in the past. That is a known. So the next card is, aside from just the fast moving energy, how else is it that he's coming in fast? And that is fire. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And so fire energy really symbolizes passion and enlightening your soul, and a true mission of really feeling for the first time with you now that he has let go of so many things in his energy. And so he is coming in your direction with a great sense of passion and sort of pursuit. So they had me use the word sort of with that. So we're going to explain the pursuit part with this next card. Okay. So I think the way I have these out when I zoomed in, you can see that a little bit better. So as we talk about the pursuit, they want to say that he knows who you are. He knows, because of him being someone from the past, that you were doing energy healing, and you told him you were doing energy healing on him too. He rightfully knew that and accepted it. And his soul gave you flat out permission as well. So he knew the work that you were doing, and he knows now how that work was really affecting him was pretty profound, and it got more and more over time. So the pursuit, aside from fire, what else do you need to know? It is romance in the air and unexpected romantic gesture, thoughtful. So you can see there's a woman standing outside a door and a man with flowers behind his back. And so this is symbolizing that he is going to somewhat unexpectedly appear out of thin air. They said the part that it says in the air is rather significant. So he will kind of appear out of thin air when you may not have been expecting him or had any idea as far as in the 3D, other than just feeling his energy pulling on you in the future. But he shows up likely at your home without any advanced warning, with a air about him that, I have this flower for you. Here you go. And the next card is about how you throw the flowers. Okay. And that is fix. And you can see you get your fix and leave me with nothing left. And so what they're saying is that the flowers are piercing because the flowers are what he brought, not the ring, not the chandelier, not the candles. He brought the flowers. And so you're saying fix it, right? So they're saying that's how you threw the flowers, as you said, okay, nice, thanks for the flowers. That's the second time in 8 years. Isn't that wonderful? And that I don't really care about flowers. Like, that was never something that was important to me. What was important to me was honesty and integrity, right? And how it is that you treated me as a person in our relationship. And so they want you to know that you said, fix it with the flowers. Like, that's not enough. Bringing flowers, sure, absolutely. That's a wonderful gesture. We appreciate it, acknowledge, and say, thank you, universe, for the lovely flowers. But as far as coming from him and a romantic gesture, it's a day late, $1 short, and not near enough. So they want you to know that this is how you respond to the entire situation of how he comes in quickly, unexpected, and with flowers is stalemate. Oh my gosh. And crossroads. So it has to do with the same energy. And it's saying, like, I acknowledge that you came back. I acknowledge that you brought me flowers. I acknowledge that you showed up on Thanksgiving Day. I acknowledge that you acknowledged the holiday. What you didn't acknowledge was that I already had plans this day. What you didn't acknowledge is that there might be someone sane here for the moment. What you didn't acknowledge is that I actually have a family and friends, and that holidays had in the past at least been important to me. What you didn't acknowledge was that I wanted you to show me communication, and that by showing up unexpectedly out of thin air, showing this very light romantic gesture, that you were just showing me it was like thin air. And I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate that you showed up at my home. I don't appreciate that you showed up out of thin air. And I certainly don't appreciate how you showed this air of ignorance towards who may have been in my life at the moment. And the reality is that he had no idea, to be fair, that you would have allowed someone to be in your energetic presence who wasn't him on the actual holiday. Like, he thought if he showed up on the holiday, that would be something that was kind of sacred and dear, and anyone who had been in your life for the last year probably wouldn't have been someone that you would have had on a holiday. That would have been for family and dear friends and things like that. So it didn't even occur to him that there could have been someone in your life that would have been dear enough to you to spend the holiday with. So you're like, really, dude? I don't know what to say other than, yeah, I mean, I guess you can stay and have pie. I didn't make your favorite pie because I wasn't really expecting you in the 3D because you didn't let me know that you were coming, right? So then they want you to know that this next card is about how you respond to his response about your stalemate, which is, yeah, sorry, there's another guy here. So, I mean, you want to show up with roses and have dinner with us? I mean, he's probably okay with it because he's a nice guy, but the reality is that you're kind of out of line. But what are you going to do? So how he responds is, forgive me, please, truly, I'm sorry. And so he's beginning to understand that you haven't just been waiting around for him to get around to showing up, however he was going to do that. You didn't just put your life on hold while he was going around and scheming as far as you were concerned. And so they want you to know that he really does feel sorry for showing up in the way that he shows up. And they want you to know that he really, had he thought it through, probably would have done it a little bit differently. But the reality is, he was coming in fast, he was coming in fire, and he had a little bit of a plan. All right. The next card is how things go from there. So I'm getting that this happens, to be fair, likely all year. So the reality is that he had planned that you could spend the holidays together. I'm getting that that's something you used to do. And so he had planned that in the future. So I want to look at the energies going forward and what that starts to play out as. And we have karmic partner, destructive love. And so he sees this person as a karmic partner, and your partner sees this person as a karmic partner. Like, who does that, right? And so you can see that the woman looks a little bit angry, and the man is sitting there with his head in his hands. She's clearly like, dude, what on earth made you think that I would be sitting home alone on Christmas Eve? What made you think I would be sitting home alone on New Year's Eve? What made you think that I would have Thanksgiving by myself, right? So with that, we have love muffins. Endearing soul for my soul tribe. And what this means is the energies of this card didn't require a preamble, because what it is showing is that you are loving towards him, you are loving towards your partner, regardless. And that would just be whoever happens to be in your life right now. They're not necessarily that significant, but that didn't really have to be the case for you to spend the holiday not alone. And so it's that you're loving towards all people, and that you have always shown love towards others. And so that's no different now. The fact that he showed up is unfortunate. But you have enough love to go around and to show everyone that it's okay. That if he wants to stay for pie and homemade whipped cream, that that it would be okay. And if he has his eye on you and what you're doing, then that's his own prerogative and the situation that he put himself in. And so the next card is about how you feel about the situation. And that is, oh my gosh, that is home run. Knocked it. I don't know if you saw me. I'm just drawing these cards from when I shoveled them. Knocked it out of the park. Promotion, pay raise, new job. And it's really saying that you have been working towards healing so many things within yourself, and that you really now acknowledge how hard you worked for the energy between you and this past person to be cleared. And the reality is that it's been going on for years, and you have been really trying to manifest basically closure. That's all that you really ever cared about, is knowing that the things that were happening with this one were no longer going to be affecting you, were no longer going to be affecting your life, and that you would be able to move forward and have the abundance and the career and the energetic set point that you have been truly wanting. So you are interested in this mainly because it is a closure, and that is actually a spiritual thing that happens, is closing out the energetic lessons. And he needed to learn this lesson about you and about who you are and what you stand for. You were not going to allow him to show up and ask your current partner to leave. That just wasn't going to happen. And so they're saying calling them a partner may be a little bit of a stretch, but it's not like you're going to ask the people at your house for the holiday where you made roast chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy and pie, if that happens to be your thing, to like scram so that you and him could spend a romantic energy night together. And so you did everything extremely well. And the reality is that the next card is how he feels that he did things. Betrayal. What is meant for me will never escape me. Interesting. So how he feels that he did things is definitely an energy of betrayal, of an energy of betraying you, of betraying your relationship and your connection. But he also feels that this guy he can take, is kind of how he's looking at it. Like, yeah, he's attractive. Yeah, he's good to her, but I don't think he's me. I think I'm better. So he's thinking I have a chance because this dude ain't got nothing on me except for her in the moment. So the next cards are going to go through the additional things that he feels about this you being in another relationship. And that is text read at 11:11. Are you seeing the signs too? So this one is saying he feels like he knew if he would have thought about it that there was a car in the driveway and that the car in the driveway had a license plate that didn't look local. So maybe it was someone from out of town just visiting for the day that he didn't remember. Maybe it's just someone that you had over for dinner and no one significant, because how could it be? And so he's saying, I think if I would have thought about it, I could have thought better when I just showed up out of thin air. And so the reality is, the next card is showing how else he feels is bittersweet. And in end, I never thought I would want, relieved because I don't want you to stay, out of pity, be happy. And this card is kind of an interesting one. And he is saying, I felt like you basically took pity on me and allowed me to stay because I showed up and you didn't know I was coming. Granted, he knows who you are. He knows that you would always welcome a friend. He knows that you would have in the past always welcomed him whenever he showed up. And so now he feels bittersweet because he feels like he loves seeing you. He loves being around you. He loves your new energy. He loves your new lightheartedness. And he loves how you're able to navigate the situation. It's just that he feels like you're just taking pity on him because of how he just foobarred the situation. How else he feels now is really in a state of conflict over what do I do now. Now we know that he already thinks that he can take this one, that I'm a better option. Which may be true in some aspects of the word. However, he still needs to figure out what is it that I do about that? What is it that I do about her having someone in her life? And how do I get that out of there? And we have headed your way. Please wait. I hope it's not too late. And you can see there's a flower there again, a man holding a flower, looking out over the water and saying, I'm coming for you, baby. I'm coming for you, and I'm gonna come in the right way now. I know that it's never too late because you taught me that. Because energetically, I can see the path that you have been laying for us. And I can see the path that you laid today is there was just one person here and not your entire family. And I feel, knowing what I can sense in your energy, your smile, and your demeanor, that you sort of knew this was coming. And so, because of that, and because you may have thought about me and set an extra place setting aside just in case I showed up, that's the way he feels. That it's not too late because he showed up at all. It's not too late because he's showing progress at all. It's not too late because he feels your energy towards him be stronger than the energy of the one who was there. The next card, to be fair, is going to be an energetic closure to this reading, and that is because, to be fair, it symbolizes the entire relationship, and they want to say that he was always dear to your heart, but that doesn't mean that he has to be in your life when what he brings back to you is not memories that are fond. And we have I promise. And this card is I promise. A promise was made. We'll never break trust. Our hearts will always belong to each other. And if this reading is for you, you understand what those words mean. And if you have read my other readings and you know what this is talking about, I will assume that you do. And if you have an energetic entanglement, you can see that these two hearts are actually locked together. That the energetic entanglement with this one was deeper than just a twin flame. And if you don't understand that energetic component, I would just encourage you to look at the energies around it. The twin flame entanglement really is about someone that you spent many lifetimes together with. That you've built so much energy together that it feels like they are literally entangled with your soul. And that was definitely the case with this one, but there was more going on than that, and we're just going to leave it there. All right. Is there anything else that we need to know from another deck, or that's it? You want to end the reading there? Okay. So they're saying, yeah, you needed to do the reading for the other person. Okay. So that is the energy of the first person who's coming towards you. And you can see the person from the past really had a lot going on. And really started to make promises to you in the past that you can feel energetically are pulling him towards you now, because there are some promises that are at a deep soul level, that are at a karmic soul contract that really can't be undone. So you can undo the energetic web and the energetic entanglement, but there are some promises that really can't be undone, is all they want me to say about that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the second person coming towards you. And they want you to know that this is a new one. This is not someone from the past. This is not, if you are in a relationship, whatever that status may be, this is not the person from the current. It is someone that you will be meeting nearly the day after the person from the past. So the person from the past is coming back. The person from the past is coming back to give you a choice, and I've been talking about that on this channel for a while, that if you are on a healing journey, there are a lot of ways that the universe is showing you energies from the past and saying, do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Even in my shorts, I think that came out yesterday. Keeping in mind that all of my words are channeled, that they really want you to know that this energy from the past is coming back. Number one, because you always have a choice. You have a choice with who you're going to be with, and you have a choice with how it is that you see the energies playing out in your life and whether or not you want it to go that way anymore. You've been through enough. But the reality is that you needed to close out some energetic cycles and get some final healing with that one and some closure. So if you do not choose to do that, that will be blocking this new one from coming in. The current one in your life isn't blocking anything. That's why they say how significant you want to call it is up to you. They may be someone that you're spending time with and getting to know. But the reality is that they're not really blocking this new person. But if you allow the person from the past to come in and you allow them to be in your life in any sort of significant way, that will block the person from the future from coming in. That's all they want to say about that. Okay. So the person from the future, I'm going to call them future person. The future person coming in has a bright aura, and I'm seeing a lot of orange. And the reason they're showing me orange is there will be the opportunity for a lot of sexual healing with this person. The orange is the energy of the sacral chakra, of creativity, and of warmth and love as well. And so this person is very loving and supportive, and they are someone that you've known in a past life and who cherishes your soul like no one else on earth. Okay. And so they wanted 4 cards off the bottom, and these cards are showing the energetic arrival of this person is what we're doing first here. And we have the 7 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, the Ace of Discs, and the 3 of Cups. And they want you to know that we're going to focus on the Ace of Pentacles, or the Ace of Discs is how it is, how it's actually written on these cards in this particular deck. And that is because you can see in this card there is a baby with the umbilical cord still attached, and a woman who is holding on to the tree. And this card is showing us that he is connected to you at a soul level. Excuse me. And he is a soul that is bright. I was saying he has a white aura, and you can see he would be considered an old soul, but to you, he is a younger version of himself, and that his spiritual journey has been wise and profound in this life, but he's nowhere near where you are at. So they want you to know that to you in this life, he would be a little human compared to where you are literally grasping the earth, right? Grasping creation and the fundamental understanding of what it is that's going on energetically around you. So you are likely, obviously, if you're reading this, if you're watching this reading into tarot and esoteric things, and Bashar and Abraham Hicks and the law of attraction and the law of assumption, and all of the wonderful things that you can possibly learn. You may be a channeler yourself. And Dolores Cannon, maybe one of your best friends. So what I'm getting here is that you have amassed, if you can see, there is a white aura around this one. However, around you, there's a bright shining sun with a flower in it. And you are literally grasping the earth of the tree. And they wanted this card because it really symbolizes the power that you have and the power that you're eluding. And if you've ever followed Abraham Hicks, which I'm getting that if you don't, you should or you will now, they often say, one who is tuned in, tapped in, turned on is more powerful than millions who are not. And that, my dear one, is what you have amassed within yourself. And they said we could just let the energy reading go at that. But they really wanted to focus on that card and how he was coming in was a great soul, one in pure energy. But he is still amassing the energies and understanding that you have developed over following all of these amazing people who came before you and energetically awakening yourself and healing yourself in amazing, miraculous, and wonderful ways that are impacting the earth now. They also want to say about this series of cards that he is a man who understands conflict in the past, who understands the energetic grief that one can go through based on one's own past decisions and the consequences of sticking up for what it is that you believe in, and of really coming into alignment with his true self and understanding who he is as a being and being an ancient one of wisdom. So at a soul level, he has the wisdom of the ages within him. We are not saying that he is a young soul. We're saying that compared to the energetic knowledge that you have that is now who you are, that he seems smaller than you are energetically because of what you have amassed within yourself. Okay? Then we have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is showing a woman laying down with two souls kind of looking over her. And he is coming in as one who can allow you to rest, who can allow you to let your defenses down, and who will watch over you and ensure that death does not become you. And what we mean is that anyone who may not be supporting the energetic mission that you have been on, you need not fear when he is around, that your energies together, and they want me to call attention to that would be you in the 3D, and the energies of these two people would be your higher selves, that together your true self and his true self, your higher self and his higher self, that you truly felt looked after and that you can have a sense of peace and rest. And you can see these same energies in this card now. These are energies of hearts, but they still kind of look like a flower to me all around the card because you have amassed a sense of security within yourself. So within that, you have your own boundaries that are built, and he is a secondary source that will look after you until the end of time. All right, and then we have the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups, I'll just say some people read as a third party, and you can certainly read it that way. But if you look at it a little bit deeper, you can see that the energies of this card are reflecting a great deal of pain and sorrow. You can see the energies of a snake around the deity's neck. And there's a great deal of fire and red as well. And dear ones, this is symboling the need to burn off the energy of warfare, to burn off not the energy necessarily of karma, but the warfare that went along with it. And so the Three of Cups really is symbolizing coming together with a group of people to heal the energies or the rift within you. And so it's showing that he is coming in with great knowledge in his soul, with the ability to help protect you and make you feel at ease. And also with the energies of wanting to work with you to heal yourself and to heal the earth and to heal those around you. That where he is still working towards his spiritual journey, he understands the things that you say, the things that you do, and the way that you make him feel, and help him understand what it is that he's been going through in his life. And so what he's coming in to your life as is a profound spiritual partner and a profound counterpart, and dare I say, a true love that no one has ever seen before. And so now they want me to pull off the top. And this card is going to symbolize the nature of your relationship from the start. And that is pure bliss. And we have the Page of Lotuses, or the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups energy is a person with an offer. And you can look at it as a young person, but they want me to draw your attention back to this card, which is the one they said is symbolizing the main energies of the reading in front and center here. And that is because he is younger than you, but quite frankly, still very loving and passionate and supportive. And you can see the energies of this card and how he's coming in is a flowing of the river. And we talked about him allowing you to feel at a state of ease and grace, that he will allow you to feel safe, he will allow you to feel comforted, and he will allow you to feel the sense of the beauty and the romantic partner that you have always truly wished for. The next card is going to show more of what you have wished for in the past, coming forward in him. And that is the High Priestess. Oh my gosh. So that would be why we had a preamble for this card, because the energies of truth are there and the energies of the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is really about alignment with wisdom and understanding, and really having a connection to source energy, and to really benefiting others through channeling. And they're saying that he can be a channel as well if you give him a chance, by being around you, by being in your energy, and by witnessing your work on yourself and others, that he will be able to awaken those gifts within himself in rather an instant. And they're saying that because that is who you are, that you have been able to awaken those gifts within yourself, and therefore you already have that energetic template laid out for you. And so you can easily help others step into that template if they already had lives, past lives, many of them in this case, that he had used those abilities before. He can certainly use them now in the presence of your divinity. And then we move on to say he is a dear one to your heart, and this card will show you how much. And that is the King of Discs and the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles, you can see, is a man of great fortune. He is a man of great stability and of great understanding. And you can see, I always channel the elephant as Ganesha, and the wisdom of the elephants and the trunk of the elephant, truly symbolizing the ability to sense and understand the energies around you. And that is what you wanted, a partner who could support you energetically, lovingly, and also spiritually. How divine. All right, so the next cards then are talking about how does he dearly show you how he feels about you from day one. And we have the Nine of Arrows. And the Nine of Arrows in this case is letting you know that no one shall come close to you in any way. No one had dare believe that he would let anyone do anything against you. And if you followed any of my other readings, I channeled this as the man from the past, and as this is your future partner. And the spirit's looking out for you. And now we've got these as your higher selves. So you have yourselves together, working together in the 3D, and you also have the energetic presence that you've developed within one another and together that are making sure that you are safe, that no one could ever come close to putting a dagger in your heart again. And that was day 1. So now we move on to day 2. This is still how he feels about you and how he will show you how he feels about you. And we have the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands is showing us in this card a little bit of a different interpretation. But the energies of stability and the energies of healing and the energies of the great ones really reaching out to heal the energetic presence of those around them, and of awakening the energies of the past for healing, and of awakening the energies in all ways for abundance and truth and magnificent grace to be able to be present in your life in so many ways. And the 4 of Wands is the beginning of a foundation. So day 1, we have protection, we have stability, and we have he is by your side defending you in whatever way you need. Day 2, we have he is laying a foundation with you. And the 4 of Wands is building a foundation of love for a future together. That you have truly met a true soulmate and you are building a foundation together of healing, of strength, and of magnificent worldly wonder. The next card then is a card of truth, about how he wonders how he ever got through life without you up until this point. And that is the 2 of Pentacles. And it's showing the energies of the past and the energies of the future. And in the past, he felt as though he was having to balance out so many things because of the others in his life, because of the people around him and what they were doing. And I'm getting that he may have had a wife and a child, and that he felt kind of naked and bare and unfriended in this life until he met you. And then he met you and the world opened up and things turned green again. And he really understood what true love was. And so what he feels about you is, I now know what love is. I now know what true love is and unconditional love is, and that is you. And then we have the energies of the 4 of Wands represented in another card, and that is the energy of the foundation and the future. And we have the 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords is actually a blocking energy. And the energy of blocking another. And what he's seeing here is the past person. Because of the energies that he's cultivated within himself, we're talking about this one. We're talking about the one that was in the energies of stagnation, the one that was in the energy of betrayal, that really wanted you to ask them to stay. So he's sensing now that in the future, he's going to have to show up royally in order to fend off this man who has now discovered the energy that you're in and what you have to offer and is wanting to come back in. And so in order for this one to come in, you have to let go of anyone that you're currently seeing on any energetic level. Not for him to come in, but for him to come in as a true partner. And he will have to show up as one. And in this case, we know that the Eight of Swords typically is feeling restricted from energies from the past. And they're saying that's a good representative of this energy because he feels restricted by knowing this man from your past is still out there and would still truly love to be in your energetic presence all the time, just as he would. And so with that, we move on to the next card, and that is how he feels about your love, meaning your love, period. And that is Temperance. And that's interesting. And the Temperance card is really showing an energetic sense of balance, that you bring balance to him. You bring balance to his life. You bring balance as a friend. You bring balance as a lover. You bring balance in every way to his life because you have an energetic stability within your life that you don't allow to be corrupted by anything. And you can see the reason they had me use the word corruption is because of where we are. Because on this planet and at this time right now, you can see she's putting out the energies here, but the energies around where she's pouring the water are a little bit chaotic. And so what he feels is an energy of stability with your love, that your love is unconditional, your love is unfounded, and your love is unjudgmental, and that you truly allow him to feel and be and do however he needs to be for himself. And that is new to him in this life. The next card then is talking about the energy of your will and how he feels about your will to do what you want, how you want, whenever you want, however you want, and to go and be and do however, whenever, and whatever you are called to do. And that is the energy of the Three of Wands. And the energy of the Three of Wands here is symbolizing a great healing connection, and that he's actually willing to go and be and do anywhere you want to go and be and do. And he will be your shelter among the flames, and he will be your home base, and he will be your biggest supporter however he possibly can, because he understands what you are doing within yourself and how you are multiplying the energies of love within yourself and within the earth, and definitely within him. The next card then is how he feels about your gumption, how he feels about your strength, and how he feels about the wonder that he senses within you. And that is the Five of Pentacles. And this is an interesting card for that, but you can see the man in this card is feeling small and malnourished. And he feels as though where you have a great power within yourself, that he has a ways to go as far as moving forward with you in this life. He knows who you are. He recognizes you for what you are and who you are, and he loves what you're doing, and he will support you in every way possible. But how he feels is, I am the one dragging her down. I am the one who is not yet at a profound level. And so the next card is what he's going to do about it. And that card is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands, and you can see the man is sitting upon a saber-toothed tiger is what I want to call it, with a wand in his hand. And what he's going to do is harness the peacock energy, harness the energy of the ages, and do everything he can to follow your wisdom and tap into the same knowledge that you are accessing. And truly, if you recognize the, I wanted to call them Mancala beads, but if you recognize the beads around his neck, it is by harnessing the energies and the traditions that you have cultivated that he will be able to cultivate a greater energy within himself, and he knows that. So this isn't necessarily a bad card. It is showing that he feels as though he has some catching up to do. And so what he's going to do is catch up. And that's what the Knight of Wands is forward movement and passionate forward movement. And in this case, he's passionate about being as strong for you as he possibly can. Woohoo. Okay. And the next card is really about love and unconditional love and support from your partner. And that is the Two of Cups. Aww. And this card is showing that he loves you, he respects you, he honors you, and he would never betray you. And the energy here of the snake is showing that in the past, there may have been others that were trying to betray your trust, the one from the past. However, he is shown here as the woman bowing down and worshiping the man in the figure. And behind that, you have the energy of your true self and your true essence. And that is what is watching over you and watching over him now as well. Because your true self can understand that by welcoming this partner, this potential partner at this point, into your life, that you are truly opening your heart up in new and wonderful ways. And the Two of Cups is a divine partnership with a soulmate in this case, coming together in an emotional, a spiritual, and a physical union all together, which is truly an emotional charge for the both of you, recognizing one another, recognizing who you are, and coming into true energetic union at a soul level is really profound. And the next card is about how your souls feel being together in this lifetime with the mission that they've given themselves. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. And the Nine of Pentacles here is showing us a crowd of people, and really also the energies of space and time, and the energies of true love. And that is symbolized in the rose here. And that you are welcoming one another and welcoming the love that one another have for each other at a soul level. That of all the souls around, that you recognize the two of you together in a divine, loving, true love soul union. So this card wasn't about how you felt about it as physical beings. This is about how your souls feel coming together. And the Nine of Pentacles really is about higher ascension as well. It is that many things have been healed and we're moving forward into higher chakras, and you can see the energies all around here as well. And in this case, it's also the energies of stability and the energies of love for one another, and being able to ascend to higher levels because of the dear friend that you have brought in. They say dear friend as a dear friend to your soul. Woo! The last card then that we pull is the energy of finality, the energy of understanding who this man is to you, and that is the Death card. And the Death card here is symbolizing complete death of who you were into who you could truly be as your true self, as a sovereign being of complete love and light and sovereignty. And so I leave it at that to let you know that who this person is to you is the final chapter. He is the one who allows you to shed everything else that you needed to shed, and to truly step into the wonder of what it is that you've been trying to accomplish by following this path, by following the path of tarot, by following the path of energy healing. And however and whenever and wherever you find this reading, if any of that resonates with you, know that you have done great work here. Thank you.